All right, so we call this the production red house, which most of the hens are these dark red ones. They are production reds, but we do have a variety of breeds in here. Actually going to go ahead and grab some eggs because we had a hen just leave this nest box. So we want to get that egg. We've got an egg down here. Hold on just a moment. Actually pause the camera to bring this egg out from the corner because that hen, she either wants to get in that corner and nest or she was interested in that egg. Here's another one here. Okay, so 3 so far in here we're picking up. Probably is an egg there. I'll have to use 2 hands to check on her. And then we've got an egg back here. So I'm going to pause recording so I can do some gymnastics over the roost bars to get to it. But I was trying to show y'all first. Any guesses what this housing was previously before it held chickens? We didn't have the runners here previously. And actually, we didn't always have a wall there. We had a partial wall and a gate, a livestock gate. This was originally built as a horse stall, and there actually is one of the hangers from where we hung a water bucket there. We had some hay racks up on the wall in some places, but we had a horse that was what you call a cribber, meaning they chew on wood, and not only do they chew on wood, they would get to where they would grab a hold of a part of it with their teeth, like an edge of it, and they heave back a bunch of air, suck in a bunch of air, and then let it out. But the whole time they're holding on to the wood. And so that's what, well, because we had a cribber, for one thing, is why we contoured these this way from the wall siding to a support beam running there. And then the horse just over time worked on that, same there, and ended up getting that wood kind of chewed away like that. But they do that, horse's crib, because it actually releases endorphins. So they become, if you have one start that habit, they become kind of addicted to it because it releases happy hormones when they do that. So animals, all animals really are funny that way. You know, they can get started into what is essentially what we perceive as a real bad habit, and then they continue it. And that's actually one of the reasons we check eggs as frequently as we do. This is an Isa Brown. She's a little different genetics than these production reds. But she had been sitting in this box, so there were a couple eggs there. So going to go ahead and get those eggs. So I don't know, what are we up to now? I think we had 2 down there, and 1 there, and 1 in the corner. So that's 4, 5, 6. Okay, so maybe she's going to go lay an egg. I don't know. But even hens, sometimes we see situations where some hens get into a habit of cracking eggs, breaking eggs, eating the yolk out of them, doing different things, but definitely causing you production loss. And actually, about a week ago, we were out of town for about 4 days, and we frequently see this when we enlist a helper to take care of our chickens. We don't want to demand more of them than necessary because, you know, it's a big sacrifice for somebody to come take care of our animals for us, even with offering some compensation and giving them whatever they'll accept and take. It's still work and sacrifice for them to come do this for us. So we don't expect them to check eggs like 6 or 7 or 8 times a day like we would be willing to do if we're right here. So, you know, we'll say to them, just if you are there once a day, do a wellness check, top off feed, refresh their water, gather up eggs, make sure everything looks okay, and if you see any red flags, you don't have to do anything. Just get a hold of us, and we'll go from there. So, you know, we only ask them to come once a day, but we know full well there's nothing that our helper can do about it. There's nothing that we can do about it if we choose to go out of town. We know that the hens are exposed to the egg production more if we only are having their eggs checked like once a day. So we can be pretty sure when we choose to do that one of the trade-offs, one of the fallouts is we're probably going to have some rogue hens start to cause problems with the eggs. And actually, we did see that. We have one egg already we found today in this hen house. It had been busted. This girl's down here pecking up my buttons on my coat. So an egg had been busted, and I guess a hen ate it. So that was one of our sons had actually done that egg check and had documented that in our egg records. So anyway, so that's why now we're kind of like adjusting and check. One of the reasons why now we're adjusting, we're going to check more frequently. We're going to try to get them out of that habit of pecking at the eggs. So when we see that, if we can identify the chicken that does it, sometimes we'll actually remove her from the flock and put her somewhere else by herself. Sometimes that'll kind of break her of it, but we also make sure, like I said, we check the eggs frequently, get them out of the hen house frequently as soon as possible after they're laid, and we make sure that they never go without feed, because sometimes, and never go without water, because sometimes that's what you'll have hens, like rather than wait for you to come put the feed in, they'll just take it upon themselves. They recognize that an egg is a food, so they'll just go ahead and eat it. But these are really pretty hens, production reds. So genetically, this is a combination of a Rhode Island red and a New Hampshire red, and the one beside her, she's an Isa Brown. Let's take a look at them. The Isa Brown is at least a year and a half older than the production red there. The Isa Brown also has Rhode Island red genetics in it, but Isa Browns were basically a hybrid designed by a French company, and it's basically a proprietary genetic mix. So there's probably 4 breeds involved in creating the light, like cinnamon feathered light red hen there. There's probably about 4 breeds involved in that breeding program, and they're called capital I, capital S, capital A, Isa Brown, and the proprietary information on the genetics is held, I believe, by a French company. But they do, I feel certain they have Rhode Island red genetics in them, as do the dark red hens. But in the dark red hens, there'd just be 2 breeds. In the light red hen here, there'll probably be 4 breeds involved in that. So all 3 of these there that you see, cinnamon colored, they're Isa Browns. All these gals hanging out here, they're production reds. But there are 30 hens in this group. We feel this is a great size hen house for 30 hens. It works really well. This is probably about 13 by 14, honestly. She's just hanging out there. She probably will lay an egg soon. But 30 hens fits this floor space really well, and they also have an attached run they can go outside to anytime. So there's a mixture of breeds in here, though, because we have 2 flocks, and sometimes they swap houses.